And we are live. Hello and welcome into all of you. I see you in the chats already, Cindy A and TMP Slotz. We appreciate you being here, chatting it up. We have with us today Big EZ Slotz doing his thing. Hello and welcome in, Big EZ.
Hey, how you doing, Slotz Sister? Thanks for having me in. Hello to everybody out there on YouTube world.
Hello to you, YouTube world. All right, you guys, we have so much to get into because this gentleman with me today just pulled off an amazing streaming event that was a benefit to an amazing cause. And we're going to talk about that tonight, as well as some tips on how to do a YouTube live streaming event. Welcome in to everybody. I see you guys coming in. We are streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter today. Ooh, and nice. I see the Twitter viewers as well as the Facebook viewers coming in. Thank you. So we have some comments coming in already. Facebook user, it doesn't give us the name here on StreamYard, unfortunately. So please introduce yourselves, and that way the chat can say hello to you. But they said, Big EZ Slotz, thank you so much for the event.
Oh, you're very welcome. It was my pleasure.
So I want to talk to you as well as everyone here. We have questions about the event that you gave. Oh, how the Facebook user Simon, it's a slot machine, is chiming in from Facebook, and she was actually one of the participants. Yep. I want to talk to you about your event and ask some pertinent questions that a lot of new streamers may have for you. Are you ready for this?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, welcome into Peggy Canones. I appreciate you being here. TMP Slotz, appreciate you being here. Danny D, the super supporter, appreciate you being here with us today. So when we host, and you and I both hosted an event that was almost about a week apart from each other, maybe a couple of weeks in there. I did my event to benefit the cancer awareness cause, due to my personal reason. And then you did your event to benefit those beautiful children at the St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. Did I say that correctly? I hope. Okay, perfect. And what inspired you to select that particular organization for your event?
We've always helped out different children foundations and stuff, but that's our regular go-to. We have a regular donation set up for them every month and stuff. And like I said, I have some personal experience there.
Incredible.
Yeah, I have some personal experience there with the hospital, not for me, but for a child of a former friend who was very who was ill, who got a lot of help, you know. And it was really just meeting all the other parents there and talking to them and seeing like what their struggles were, how bad the children were before they went to St. Jude's, and they were getting optimal health care now, and you know, never an expense to the families, which is huge, you know. So it's just a really good charity. It's something we can all get behind, you know. So my main purpose for the event was, it's not just generating money on that individual day, right? One is bringing awareness that this hospital exists, this research facility exists, right? And two, it's not the one-day donations, it's the people that end up donating $5, $10, $25 a month, right? And those donations stick and they keep adding up. And, you know, and those people talk to their friends or family and so on. So it's a lot more than just what happened in the actual event, the outreach that we'll get from the event through people that go and look up the hospital and stuff, you know.
And when I did the event for the cancer awareness, it was for that purpose. I wanted to do an event within our community that would allow for awareness that we can donate to these links and that these programs and organizations are out there. And I wanted to integrate it with something that I personally enjoy doing, which was casino gaming.
Yeah.
I think your event went off amazingly because you integrated casino gaming, the fun of casino gaming, with the realness of what this organization is doing and how they're doing it. I think your event was perfect for that.
Yeah, it was. I was a little worried at first. I wasn't sure if the organization was going to actually accept our help. I have heard of other organizations refusing help from like gambling sites or gamblers themselves and stuff like that. I talked to one of their coordinators and she said, no, we don't have a problem with it. This is what you have to do. And she kind of walked me through the whole process and stuff. So for us, it was fairly easy because there is no, everything was internet based. You know, it's different if we would have had like a drive and stuff, and then they will provide like signage for you and stuff like that. But for us, everything was internet based. Everything is promoted online. We created our own thumbnails and stuff. So we just got a handful of thumbnails from them, and then all the creators went ahead and added their own touches to it, which is kind of cool also, you know.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the streaming event. You had an amazing, amazing lineup. Let's talk about something though. You mentioned that when you approached the organizations, you were concerned that maybe they wouldn't agree to maybe like the slot community being a part of fundraising for that organization. And It's a Slot Machine just said something that it's important, because when I went out for my cause and my fundraising efforts, I did have a little pushback that was like, is it gaming or is it casino gaming? Like, you know, they were questioning what we were doing. And It's a Slot Machine says it sucks how stigmatized gambling is. You would think that casino gaming and a lot of the different niches that we have on YouTube would all be accepted with these organizations. It's all for one purpose, and that is fundraising, regardless of the type of channel. What do you say to that? Because there is a little stigmatization to casino gaming.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is it's publicity, right? So like we've talked before, even casinos, like how do you shy away from free marketing? You know, like they prevent people from recording and stuff. I think with these charity organizations, you know, they got to collect money from everybody, right? But if they have big donors who do not agree with a particular sector, they're not going to push back against those big donors, right? So
Exactly.
I don't want to get into any type of political or religious stuff like that, but it's it could be where, you know, hey, our two biggest donors don't agree with gambling, right? And so we're just not going to show any or just take any support from any gambling institutions or any gamblers themselves. So, but they were pretty open. They said, she just said, you know, we're gonna take help from whoever we can get it. We have no problem with it. Just go ahead, do your event, raise the money the way you want to raise it, you know, and yeah, so they were really good about it.
Yeah, and that is amazing because, well, a few things. So in my particular live stream, and we're going to talk about, you know, some tips to having a successful event that could benefit both your channel as well as the organization. Because all in all, we want to benefit the organization. The purpose is for a cause. But in the midst of that, there's a positive to benefiting your channel as well. Something I did, Big Easy, when I was invited to your event, and thank you so much for that invite. I had such an amazing time with TMC Slotz. That was incredible for me.
Yeah, you guys had so much energy. It was great. It was really good.
Yeah, I really felt felt like we were feeding off of each other, and we probably wouldn't have had that opportunity together outside of your invitation. So thank you so much for that.
Yeah, no, it was great. You guys killed it.
Thank you. So the one thing I did do though, ahead of that, I was so excited about the cause because as I shared on my stream, that was something that was personal to me. My daughter, who was in NICU for 6 months of her initial life, they had to send her blood work over to St. Jude's, who had to research and analyze it and tell us what was going on with her and why she kept coding blue. And so while we were in the midst of being at Loma Linda was in collaboration with St. Jude's, St. Bernardine's, and some of the children's hospitals that are out there. And they had collaborated together and basically saved my daughter's life. She will be 18 next month. And without that collaboration of all these hospitals, who knows what could have happened. She coded blue 3 times, once in the ambulance and twice at the hospital. So there's a lot of parents that go through this. And the one thing that when you invited me to this event that I did, and I encourage for anyone that will be participating or hosting an event to do, is that I connected with those individuals outside of the event. They always say if you're going to grow your audience and build your channel, connect with your audience. Well, I connected with my audience well before the event even started. So that's one tip that I would offer to channel creators that are thinking about doing events, is to connect with your audience outside, like promote, promote, promote. So for you, you were saying you talked directly to the charity event coordinator, and you were definitely doing some outside promotion for this event. What suggestions would you give to participants and potential hosts as to how they could promote their event outside of just posting the links on social media?
Well, you're gonna. I was lucky enough to meet a lot of people who are personally affected, and helped by this particular charity and stuff.
Yeah.
And they give you a lot of leads, and they help spread the word because, of course, like you say, they're appreciative. Um, I know, like you mentioned, Loma Linda. I know that Loma Linda has helped our family, with one of our daughters and stuff. Also, a great hospital, very, very, very good for kid stuff, for cardiovascular stuff. Um,
Yeah.
but primarily, you get a lot of feedback from individuals. Some individuals I was close to in the community who have talked to me after and said, "Yeah, this is why I joined, and this is why I'm participating and stuff." And they all had their own stories, right? So, like you say, one is get the word out. Use the other platforms that we have available to us, the social media platforms, and also get out there and
Yeah.
just talk to the people that have been affected and helped by these organizations, and they will help you to spread the word and stuff. So I was pretty passive this year as far as getting channels to participate. I kind of put the word out and said, "Look, this is what we're doing and stuff, and whoever wants to participate, go ahead and participate." Right?
Yeah.
Next year, right? I'm hoping everybody comes back. I'm going to try to do a 2-day event or a longer event, and but I'm going to be a lot more diligent and a lot more aggressive next year. So next year I will be, like I said, hopefully we can get a 2-day event going and stuff, and attract some more people and start actually putting the word out maybe like 3 months ahead of time, and get all the channels to just mention it on their videos and stuff, do interviews, but really in the community itself, put the awareness out, like this is happening on these dates, and try to get as many people behind it as we can.
Yeah, exactly. I love that. I do not want to ignore the chat. You guys are chatting it up and making some really great points over here. Let me just invite and welcome a couple of individuals in. Keith Jenkins, thank you so much for being here. I always appreciate you, brother. Aguero, I really appreciate you being here. Welcome to the Level Up. Goldie One, thank you for being here. And I know I missed a few people. I will try to capture you as you're chatting. So something that I'm noticing in the chat, and I love this, Danny D, thank you so much for sharing your experience. So a lot of the individuals that were in the chats yesterday have had firsthand experience with this organization.
Yeah.
And I know that on my live stream, I had nurses from my own personal hospital and then nurses that were at my daughter's hospital, because I remember I was promoting this a few weeks in advance.
Yeah.
And they were all there. And I did something that, one, to connect the audience to those nurses and to show some appreciation. I said, if you could just do a favor and flood the chat with purple hearts. The connection that was established there was amazing. Those nurses were flooding my phone. They were like, this is beautiful to see. This is incredible. I didn't know you were going to do this. That moment was amazing. And once again, I look back at the stream or at the event, and I'm like, that moment would not have been possible without the invitation to your event. So your event was so much greater and so much bigger than just us playing there. That was incredible, Big Easy. It really was.
Yeah.
What do you say about that?
Well, I was on the chat when that happened and stuff, and it was touching because everyone did become instantly became like one community, right? And everybody was on the same page, and there was a lot of goodwill and stuff. And that's the thing, right? It's just getting the goodwill out there, right? Um, from this
Yes.
thing, probably the proudest thing I am of this is that a lot of people are now talking about, well, you know what? I had an idea to do something for this particular charity, for this particular ailment, and now I've been inspired to go ahead and try it. So that's great, right? Let's keep that goodwill going forward. Let's keep moving on. Um, you know, it feels a lot better to give than to receive. You know, so when you help people and you see a smile and then, that look in their eyes, or you get a hug or something, it's so much more valuable than anything that's monetary. You know, so
Yes.
and we have that our community is pretty tight, our particular thing. So if we just keep expanding, bringing more people in, and keep moving in the right direction, let's make some change out there. Let's make some positive moves and make some changes and help some people out.
Wow. And as you're saying all of this, like, you have encouraged, what is happening in this chat right now is a collaboration of individuals that are sharing their personal experiences. TMP Slots, Danny, the super supporter, we really appreciate you opening up and being vulnerable to sharing your personal experiences. This is huge within this community because we embrace one another, and we just really appreciate you guys being engaged and sharing your experiences with us. Once again, Big Easy, you started this. This is what your event has started. So when we talk about hosting events on social media, we're talking about something far greater than just presenting an event. You had a cause and a purpose, and your cause and a purpose has had an effect. And this effect is being even shown on this stream tonight. That you're incredible, and the event was absolutely incredible.
Yeah, it was fun. I mean, it was so positive from the beginning to the end. You know, um, Chris and Lou started us off, all kinds of energy and stuff. Melly and David, same thing, everything positive. Big Daddy, all the way down the line. As we're going, you and TNP. I mean, it was great. It was like Um, never a dull moment, right? Everyone was having a good time. Everyone's communicating, and it was just fun. It was fun to share. You know, we were lucky enough to have a good run last night, finishing it off. So, um, you know, just a blessing and stuff. So we're blessed. Next year we're going to be bigger. Next
Yeah.
year, right? Next year maybe we do it across 2 or 3 platforms, right? So
Yes.
we may have people streaming on YouTube and TikTok and Facebook at the same time, right? Or have 2 channels going at the same time, one going on TikTok, one going on YouTube, because that's where their primary audiences are. That's fine too, right? I mean, there's a lot we
Exactly.
can do, right? And there's a lot of resources we can tap into. So
I love that. I love that. So your plan for this was your first year doing this event, correct? I just want to make sure.
yeah, that's correct. And
Okay.
ever since I
Was this
started
your
slot,
first event?
this is my first event. As I when I started my channel, right? This is one of the original things that I planned on doing, right? And I've talked to a few people about it and stuff. Um, and I was nervous about whether they would accept it or not, you know, because it was a gaming community and stuff.
Yes.
Um, so it took a while. Then once I broke 1,000 subscribers, then I said, okay, now I have a good enough following, so we're going to go ahead and try this and stuff. And that's when I started
Yes.
talking to St. Jude's and organizing and stuff. And you've been a great help. You know, you've helped me a lot. Um, when I ask you silly questions and stuff, you know, so I appreciate your help. And yeah, I was just, you know, I was like so touched by everybody. So next year, guys, it's going to be bigger and better. Yeah.
And let's talk about that collaboration. So when you started your lineup, how did you go about selecting who was going to be in your lineup? Did you just like make a written list and then start checking them off, or what was your process?
Well, I was kind of trying to be considerate to the channels. So I don't want to, you know, weekends are usually family time and stuff. So I kind of
Yeah.
thought, let's get the East Coast channels up first, right? And then as we go on
Hmm.
during the day, we'll put on the West Coast channels. There was one
Yes.
East Coast channel that needed a late slot, so we did the late slot, and that was the only East Coast channel or Midwest channel that came in later in the day. But that's kind of the way I did it, um,
Okay.
you know. And then Chris and Lou usually in our community, when they've been at events, they usually started off and they have so much positive energy and stuff that for me, I knew pretty much all along that I was going to start with them, you know. And then
Right. Exactly.
yeah, and then I was left with a decision: do I go on after them and then let it play out, or do I wait till the end? Do I do 2? So I wasn't quite sure, you know, how to handle it, and then I ended up, well, I'll just end it. All right, I'll be the last channel to go on and kind of give everyone a recap and stuff. But
Okay. Okay. So that was going to be my next question. After you developed the lineup, I was just going to ask, like, how did you determine where you were going to be or where your channel was going to be positioned in that lineup? So it was basically at the end of the event to do kind of a recap and just kind of bring it all to a close with appreciation and thank yous
yeah,
to all the
being able to
participants.
thank
Oh,
everybody and stuff. So
I love that idea. Yeah.
yeah, and then already I
And
know
it
for
went
next
on,
year,
it was perfect.
yeah, and
What happened? I missed
oh,
it.
no, one idea that we had, there were some people talking about doing a group pull, right? So
Okay.
everyone's going to put in, you know, 120 bucks, and then every $100 we raise would be one share for the charity. And I think we're going to do that next
Okay.
year. That'll be like the grand finale next year, just because you can get those big bets in, and there's a chance that, you know, you can hit a $1,200 miner or a $2,500 miner, stuff like that. And just to like end it with a lot of energy and, you know, a little bit more crazier playing and stuff. But
Okay. And then to do that, to collaborate that, there'll be like a certain amount of slot channels that would be in one central location. Because we were kind of all over the place. Did anybody stream at the same location in your event?
I don't think so. I think everyone, which was kind of cool because we had you had Florida, right? We had New York, Washington, Las Vegas, um, Southern California, I think Cincinnati, right? So we're everywhere, which was kind of cool that we
That's
had panels
incredible.
all across the country. So I think that was kind of cool. And yes, Simon, that's right. Simon is in Connecticut. Is that where Simon is? I think she's on the East Coast also. But oh no, she's in
Oh,
Denver.
is she
Going to
are
school.
you in Connecticut?
She's in Denver right now. That's
That's
right.
awesome.
So yeah, so we were like, I thought that was really cool, is that we were all over the place, right? It was pretty much across the nation. There was people participating. So that was kind of cool,
Yeah.
you know.
Peggy Canones has a really interesting now. Okay, so I'm going to tell you right now. I think I mentioned before that I was a K through 12 teacher at one point, and I initially started out with working with children with autism and disabilities. So this hits home yet again. Consider looking into helping people with autism and bringing awareness to that, as well as I'm going to add to that because there's something about the bringing awareness to autism because for some reason, and I don't know why it is, it could be our upbringing or however it is, but we look at that differently than we really should. A lot of the individuals with autism are so very talented and
Mm-hmm.
such a blessing to be amongst us. And for some reason, we shy away from it because we're apprehensive or we just don't know what to say or how to approach. Or, there's various things there. I learned as an instructor, I learned these things, and as I went along, it would be amazing to use this type of community that's this close knit to bring awareness to several things, but including autism. Do you see yourself doing more of these types of events, or will you primarily focus around the St. Jude's fundraising effort?
I can see myself doing other events, or at least helping people do, other events, participating, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Our channel beginning in January is still going to be gaming, but we're moving into some other things. And one of the things is going to be weekly interviews with veterans, with vets and stuff, and
Yes.
really taking a life look at from their childhood to what happened, what got them into the military, their experience in the military, um, after the military and stuff, and kind of like try to hit everything, where some people struggle, after military service. Um, some people do very well, but I want to get a good spectrum of everyone, and just that's another thing that we need to bring awareness, that I think that our lack of empathy for veterans, and I don't even think it's weird, right? It's like we should be like super thankful and stuff, and we should get them all the help that they need and stuff. And it is such a battle sometimes to get them the good health care, or mental health services, stuff like that, stuff to get them back on their feet. Um, so yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of why we're going to be doing this interview series. Um, but yeah, definitely, I'm game to help people out. I'm game to take on another challenge and put on another event. Um, but yeah, we're out there. We're going to keep doing positive things. The gaming channel is a hobby, right? But it is giving me a small voice to where I can do other things that are more important, you know? So,
I love that you say that because that is a segue. Well, first of all, thank you so much for considering and being so sympathetic to the veterans. So many times, and every time I go to the VA, I'm reminded of this. So many veterans, although appreciate the assistance they get when they come home, feel like it's lacking, like funds are going elsewhere, and it's a political issue. We won't get into that, but to bring awareness, that's what these events are doing, bringing awareness. To bring awareness to these things, that is huge. So I'm so glad you mentioned that. And I would love to, please, if you would love to work with me, I would love to be considered to working with you alongside that, definitely.
Yeah, for sure. And it's not just combat vets, right? I have a close friend who was a nurse, right? And she was in a combat zone. And when she came home, she had like serious PTSD because
yes,
they're themselves are in a combat zone when they have to deal with mass casualties and stuff, right? And oftentimes they're working 20 hours, 24 hours, 36 hours in a row, and when they do finally get to stop, they kind of like realize what they just went through. It's also very bad, so it's not, it's a lot of people that, you say like, oh, you were in the military, they taught you to be a nurse. That's great, right? Well, that's a win-win for you, right? But you don't realize like some of the things that they had to go through also that are very traumatic and stuff,
Exactly. And all of these things, see, we could use our social media platforms for these great things. I mean, when we get on social media, we all jump on social media for so many various reasons. But we have an audience here. As a matter of fact, let me just take we have 140 people in the chat. Oh, and Morin, thank you so much for being here. I apologize if we are missing you. I tried to put this on slow mode, but please say hello. Tap into the chat. We do not bite, I promise to you. I know for a lot of you, you're coming in from Facebook. This is a platform where creators, we talk amongst other creators. We throw out ideas. Definitely take notes as we talk tonight amongst each other. In the chat, Big EZ, they have given us some great ideas to hosting future events. So definitely, I encourage your engagement. And Dog Parents Online, thank you so much. I'm getting text messages from some of you guys. Please put your comments in the chat, because a lot of us would like to see some of these amazing comments that you're saying. So I always encourage you guys to definitely engage with the chat. That's what we're here for. Dog Parents Online, he said, I just got here. Is hosting live stream events worth it? And I love that question, because that is a question we're going to ask to Big EZ, who just hosted the live stream. I'm going to pose that question as a two-part. For the charity, is it worth it? I know that you had a particular goal for the event. So for the charity, is it worth it? And then for your particular channel, the time that you invested and everything that went into it, what do you say about the worth of hosting an online event?
It is work. It takes a lot of organization, and you're dealing with a lot of people, and you're dealing with life, right? People have life changes. So you have people that agree to do the event, something changes. Now I'm one short, I'm two short as you're getting closer to the event, and you got to fill it in. So there is pressure there and stuff. But if you want to do an event, take it something that you're passionate about, so that it's not work, right? So that it is actually a reward to yourself because you're helping out, right? If you're just doing an event to get to try to pick up subscribers or get some notoriety and stuff, there's easier ways to do that. do live streams, right? Right now with the influence of TikTok, you want to grow your channel, do a lot of live streams. You know, that's the basic thing. If you want to host an event, it's because it's something you care about, something you're passionate about, so that the work is not work, right? The work is just part of the process, right? So how do we change
Yeah.
the world? One person at a time, right? We have a voice. Hey, if I could change someone's mind today, right, and turn something from a negative to a positive, right, you just started changing the world, right? So that's
Yes.
what we need to remember. How do we change the world? One person at a time, one idea at a time, right? So for me, my channel is a hobby. I like gambling. You know, I thought it would be cool to do this. I've got to meet so many wonderful people. It's been a blessing. You know, I'm not looking to pick up subscribers. I'm not looking to pick up views. I'm looking just, this event was just from my heart and just something I wanted to do. And it went well. And I'm hoping to do it again next year. And hopefully we'll do better.
Definitely. Welcome in, Gamblers Unknown. Welcome in, Aguero. Appreciate you guys being here. Once again, Dog Parents Online. That was a great question. Thank you for that. Gamblers Unknown said, time invested, not even close. Event itself, very fun. So before the event even launched, before the day even came upon us, what would you say, estimating in time that you spent on the event, reaching out to individuals, coordinating with their schedules, getting the lineup put together, and reaching out again to ensure that they were still doing the event, double checking with them? I'm thinking of all the stuff I had to do for my event. Double checking with them that the links were up, that the thumbnails were done. What in time would you say you spent on this event?
I would say not that much, 10 to 12 hours a week, right? For a couple of months. The last 2 weeks, maybe 30 hours a week, you know, just dotting the I's, crossing the T's, making sure the stuff's getting done, communicating with people. And sometimes it's a little difficult, but, you know, we got it done. But like I say, the time thing is just set yourself some time aside where you're going to do it, you know, same time every week. You know, you send out your messages to everyone, you know, you ask for feedback. The important thing is ask for feedback from the channels that are participating, also on what they want to do, what their ideas are for marketing the event and stuff, because that's gonna help you a lot too. Talk to people who've put on events. You helped me a lot, you know. Sister Yoshi helped me a lot and stuff. So Rhino Man helped me, you know. So I was blessed. I had the three of you. They're pushing. Chris and Lou, you know, they're always very positive and very helpful and stuff. Pamela, Slot Savvy, also very helpful. So we did, you know, we did pretty well. I could have done better. I can tell you right now that I could have done better. I could have gotten bigger. But like I said, for this particular event, I did not want to push anybody into doing it. I didn't want to put anybody on the spot, right? Because it is a charity event. So if you walk to somebody and you go, hey, what are you doing November 4th or November 5th? You know, yeah, I'm doing this event for kids. You want to participate? You know, you're putting in a huge amount of pressure on people, right?
Yes.
Where it has to be something they want to do, you know, and stuff. And that's kind of why I just left it that I would promote it, and just say, here's my email. If you guys want to participate, you know, just drop me a line. And then, so as soon as we got to 10, right, I was like, okay, that's good enough. 10 is good. It's not overwhelming. You know, we're not going to be on the air for 12 hours, 14 hours. You know, we're going to be on for 5 or 6. That'll be perfect. So that kind of, I stopped at that point. I was like, okay, we have our people. Let's go. So.
And I do have an upcoming stream that will be asking those questions from the audience. We will have audience members that are super supportive to our community and other communities. And we're going to ask them as an audience, what is your time constraint with events like this? Can you do a 12, 16, can you support a 20-hour event? I mean, we could easily make it, a 20+hour, a 2-day, a 1-week event. I would love to hear, and that'll be a question that I'll have to ask the audience when we have that stream. What is your preference on these type of events, and where do you think we should cut off at?
Well, I think like
I
six
think
to
your idea with Tim was
maybe
perfect.
like 5 to 7 hours, right?
Yeah,
Because you can keep a lot of the people engaged for the majority of that time, right? If you're doing a 12-hour event, it's kind of tough to keep everyone engaged and stuff. I was really hoping that we can push from channel to channel and keep those viewers, right? Instead of just the viewers from each particular channel only supporting their channel, right? Get that crossover where the event keeps building and stuff. So
I
one
like that.
one idea that came to me, which is was when I first started my channel, right? I was always posting videos late at night, right? Because that's when I had my free time, right? So during the day, it was, with my kids, with my wife and stuff. And then late at night, I would edit my videos and stuff. And then instead of waiting until the next day to upload them, I would just upload them in the evenings. So I would get a lot of viewers from Australia, right? And YouTube would push my videos in Australia. It was really weird, right? So now
Uh-huh.
what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make connections with people in Australia, right? Because I think it would be kind of cool to do like a two nation thing where you're doing, well, we're doing this charity event today in the United States, and then tomorrow we're doing it in Australia or in Latin
I like
America,
that idea.
you know?
Yes.
So I think it'd be kind of cool to kind of do a global thing. Like I said, this year it was cool because channels were spread all across the United States, So let's go ahead and try to maybe do that where we cross a few time zones here, and try something like
Yeah.
that. So that takes a lot more
Yes. And you
coordination
know
and
what?
stuff. But
It's a slot machine just said something about you mentioning the push, and he is very, very correct. Depending on the time that you load your videos, I have noticed a shift. Now, when I mentioned that I have so many channels, some of these channels are strictly for research. They're strictly for me to determine certain things. And there's one channel that I have, which is a faceless channel, and I push it out every morning, first thing when I get up, 3 a.m. our time. It gets pushed out in most of the Asian markets. YouTube does that. It pushes it out in the Asian market because at the time that I load that video, that happens to be the market that is up for that video to get pushed out to. So you have to think about the timing of when your links drop and your videos are available and who is up during that time. So that's a
yeah,
great question, Simon.
also like Gamblers Unknown, he's mentioning, I think it was a week ago on one of the podcasts about how it's important to build your base of viewers, your foundation of viewers are going to keep coming back, right? Um, so he focuses a lot on building that foundation, right? Um, from looking at the analytics and stuff, whenever I've had videos that get 8,000 views, 10,000 views, 12,000 views, right? The number one generator is YouTube pushing it, right? It has nothing to do with the content of the video, right? I can upload two identical videos, word everything the same. One video will get 5,000 views, another video will get 100 views, right? And when you go to
Yes.
the analytics and you go to see why, it's because YouTube is pushing your video, right? So
That
that's,
YouTube recommendation. Yes.
yeah. So that's the thing is, that's the other thing for the people out there. You want to grow your channel and stuff like that. Look for keywords, look for time slots, look for what type of gaming you put up and stuff. Because I thought I had figured it out, right? And I talked to other channels, and I told them, dude, try this. And some people tried it and it worked. Some people tried it and it didn't work, right?
Uh-huh.
And then it turns out that I didn't know why it was. I just thought I knew what it was because I was putting up videos that were similar with similar wording. But yeah, it's pretty weird. But like, if we can find out what the algorithm's looking for and stuff, certain times of the day and stuff, that can help you reach more people also. You know, so
Exactly.
I picked up a lot of people from Spanglish and from El Güero on the Spanish stuff, on the Latin American stuff, right? So just participating in those events with them, I picked up a lot of subscribers there. So
Yeah. I had to look back at a comment because I just got a text message, or actually it's an email. Gamblers Unknown had a question, and this person has the same question. Oh, okay, it was a statement. Okay, I see. So going back to when you were doing your lineup and how to ask other channels to participate in your event, because I just got a message from Wave to You Wave to You for a channel. I'm not sure what the channel is. I apologize. Thank you for sending that email. And this is a really, really great question. So let me address that. Thank you. They said that they are hesitant to ask channels to be involved in streaming events. She or he is wanting to do a challenge event within their niche. And they're hesitant to go and ask the channels to be part of that event because, a lot of the channels they don't know and they want to ask bigger channels. What would you suggest for, it basically just comes down to being ready to accept the yeses and the nos for me, but
yeah,
Big EZ, what would you say to that as far as not actually asking?
hey, nothing ventured, nothing gained. I went to big channels, right? I didn't go to a lot, but I went to a few big channels, and we had two big channels, and just life happens, right? And they had to pull out and stuff. So
Mhm.
it was just timing. I think next year that those two channels will be able to pick them up, you know. But what's the
Yeah,
worst thing what's the worst thing that can happen is they say no, right? So you go to them and you just say, "This is what I want to do. This is why I'm doing it. Would you like to participate?" Right? To be honest with you,
yes,
if you're a small channel, right, most of the big channels are going to go like, probably not, because if I want to do live streams, I'm going to do live streams with two or three other big channels, and have 20,000 people watching us, 15,000 people watching us, instead of going to,
exactly.
you know. But if you have the right event, right, that touches them, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I can get with that," right, and they might say yes, and then that helps you a lot. It helps with the marketing immensely. That's the biggest thing about landing a big channel. It's not that they're participating. It's the marketing that a channel that has, 100,000 to 150,000 subscribers can give you, you know.
Yes.
So that would be the biggest reason to try to land a big channel, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Pro Brown, thank you so much for shouting out this live stream tonight. We had a lot of the followers from Pro Brown. He is a lifestyle channel that deals with motivational content and I haven't been on your channel a long time. I really, really appreciate your followers coming in. I do know that you work with a lot of motivational channels, and I'll link your channel to this stream when we complete the airing. I just want to thank you so much for sharing out this link with your followers. And I understand understand that you went live, and I just want to appreciate you for even sharing out the link with the followers. And I hope to get onto your link as soon as we finish airing. But another question or idea that he has before he went live, he was saying as far as engaging with the audience and encouraging your participants to engage with the audience ahead of the event. Did you do, I know you did the Facebook group. What other method of communication did you have to encourage the participants, one, to push out the event, and then two, to kind of guide them in how to be engaging in the event?
Yeah, so what we did is we did a lot of stuff on TikTok. We had some of the channels that are on Facebook do stuff on Facebook, you know, and then we did some YouTube. Again, I wasn't overbearing with the channels. I would just give them information to put out and say, you know, can you guys share this out, right? They share it out to their viewers. They ask their viewers to share it out, and you kind of try to get that little wave going, you know.
Right.
So like I said, next year I'm going to be a little bit more aggressive on not only picking up channels but on marketing the event. One of the biggest things for me was transparency, right? So one of the things that I was getting back a lot was, well, how are we going to handle the donations? How do we do that and stuff? The great thing about St. Jude's, they set up a web page for you, right? You set up the web page, has the name of your event, right? None of the people that participate touch the money. It goes straight to them. So there's no questions. Hey, where did my donation go? Right? Did my donation get there? You know?
That. Yeah.
And then the people that donate get a little write-off as well. So it's a win-win, right? So that's why St. Jude was such a perfect organization. That's the other thing is the handling of the money. If you're going to do an event, coordinate it with a reputable charity that can do that process, that can set you up through one of their websites to handle all the money. And then there's no questions. It's just because there's always going to be people that are negative, right? And they'll start saying, oh, well, these people are just trying to scam us and it's a big scam and the money's, you know, and I don't want to deal with any of that stuff, right? This is just supposed to be goodwill, positive, you know, it's everything just straightforward. This is what we're doing. Help us out. If you can help us out, here's where you go, right? So
if you had a tip for someone, maybe a new channel or even an existing channel that may be toggling with the idea of doing a event, what tip would you offer them? Did you have any lessons from this particular event that you learned that you would share with new creators?
I think the most important thing is it has to be something you're going to enjoy. You know, it doesn't have to be a charity event. It could just be a fun event, right? It could just be a, hey, I want to do a challenge with 12 channels where we put in $100 and we're going to do 100 spins. And let's see who's our champion for the day, right? Make up a belt and whoever's the slot champion for that day, you play the money any way you want. You only get 100 spins, right? Something like that. Fun event. But it has to be something that inspires you, that you enjoy doing. Then the time, it's less work and a more passion, right? Because it is work. It is work and it's frustrating. And like personally for me, when we lost the really big channel, we lost a big, like a 250,000 channel. You know, that hurt. That set me back. And I was like, oh, damn. You can't replace that channel. There's no way I'm going to be able to replace that channel right now. Right. So then it's tough. So you have to be ready for those type of disappointments. And how are you going to bounce back from that? Right. What are you going to do to go back and get this thing done and stuff? You know, that's probably was the most stressful part. The closer we got, right, I'm like, man, what happens if another channel drops out? Right. What am I going to do and stuff? One thing I didn't do that I probably should have done was reach out to people and just say, look, I know this isn't your cup of tea. I know you don't feel comfortable, you know, but would you be a backup channel, you know, at the last minute if something happens and stuff? So
Backup channels, and that's the one thing I learned is that one backup channel is not enough. You need three, maybe.
Yeah, and
To the event.
so for sure next year I'll be doing that, and because I have a lot of good relationships with a lot of people in the community, and I think that
Yes.
I could reach out to 2 or 3 people and say like, you know, um, I don't expect you to do this on a regular basis, but in case something bad happens, would you be willing to do this, or would you be willing to do like a challenge with me, where we'll do a challenge on, some other type of entertainment to fill that slot, you know.
Right.
So
Exactly.
that's one
Exactly.
thing. Yeah, that's one thing I wasn't prepared for. We had another big channel drop out right before, and that kind of really threw me for a loop because that was so close to the event. So it was like, oh man,
Yeah.
you know. But yeah, definitely backup
So
channels
I
next year.
like the backup channel idea for those that are thinking about doing events. Definitely a backup to the backup to the backup. Gamblers Unknown, since we're speaking of bigger channels, said the bigger channels know that's why you want them and they are hesitant or have demands. That's why I stay away and just have channels that want to do it, basically.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, that's the
yeah,
optimum. That's the optimum thing, right? Is you get the people that want to actually do it, right? Because
yeah.
you have that positive energy, right? Like on your live stream, I mean, you guys had so much positive energy. It was great. It was like, to do another half hour, keep going. You guys were on
Thank
fire.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
we're actually doing another live together because we had such an amazing connection that even off camera, we were still going. So
oh
we're going to
yeah,
be doing a whole nother, but this event brought us together in essence. We had never done a live stream together like that ever. Like that was our first time together. And I believe that might have been maybe her first or second live. So, I mean, it was a teaching, growing, collaborating. It was a moment for just, it was amazing. It was
yeah,
absolutely
yeah.
amazing.
I don't go live. I don't go on live at
Actually,
all. Only when I do events. That's the only time I go live. And for me, it's because
yeah,
I stress myself out so much going live. 30 minutes, I'm exhausted. I'm like mentally. And yesterday, it wasn't like that. Yesterday, we were just having a good time and we were just going for it. And it was totally different than all my other live events when like,
yeah.
after that event, I felt great. All the other events I've done live, after I felt like totally drained and stuff. But
Yeah, no, I totally understand because yesterday, I think both TFP slots and I were both like, we got to go home. So yeah, we may have had the energy, but we exhausted it there.
yeah,
So,
yeah, I don't know.
um,
I watch people do it for, hours, and I'm like, how in the
yeah,
heck? I was with Man vs. Slots at Cosmo one night, and he was just bouncing around and he was going. And I'm like, dude, you're going on 3 hours. And he's all like, yeah, and we might get to 4. And I was like, man, you must go like straight to your room and knock out, dude. I mean, that is like
yeah.
so much energy to be able to do that. It's like, wow.
That's
But
incredible. This whole event was incredible. This recap was amazing. I learned some of your strategies to building this event, and we so appreciate you being here. Before we're about to close, but before we do that, Gamblers Unknown, who has done some amazing events, he also has strategies and tips, and I'm just about to throw him out there to you guys. For those of you who are new to the slot community and want to do an event, definitely reach out to these gentlemen who have the experience of hosting these events. And I'm hoping that they would be more than willing to give you tips and help with events that you are planning. Gamblers Unknown will probably be messaging me from that. But he said
you
what I started doing
you
was
owe him dinner
adding
now.
people on the end, huh?
I said, you owe him dinner now. He's gonna be getting all kinds of
I
emails and
know.
stuff.
I just kind of
But
threw his services out there.
yeah. But you know what? He is a wealth of information on the entire community,
Yes.
not just live events. He has a lot of great background and stuff, and he's always
Yes.
really helpful to people and stuff. So
Yeah, so that's why we offered him up to you. We just served him to you. That's what we do here on the Level Up. We're here to serve you, Gamblers Unknown.
yeah.
But he said that he was putting people on the back end. So as he was developing the event, and this happened to me as well, the only thing that I was able to do was offer them, if you know, a girls' night out, cancer awareness event for the following year. I'll make sure to put you onto the list, because as the event started to get a little bit of momentum, then we started having channels that wanted to be in the event. And it would have been easy to make it a 2-day, but I just didn't, I wasn't ready to do that. So I just put them on for the next year. I do have a list brewing right now of who to reach out to. So that's a great idea, Gamblers Unknown. Put them on the back end, just, yeah, because you never know what will happen. Let me get through some of these comments. Big EZ, did you have any other advice that you would like to offer the new and existing channels that may be thinking about hosting events on social media?
Like I said, the only thing is choose something that you're passionate about. There's a lot of events for different reasons. Some are just for fun, some are tributes and stuff. Just something you believe in, something you enjoy doing, and just go for it. You don't have to do a lot. Do 8 channels, do 10 channels, half hour, you know, get in there. Make sure you do your lives before. Like I said, I never do lives. I actually did 2 of the events I did. I was one at the last minute. They needed someone to come in and help them. I helped them out. Then there was another event where basically I told them, look, I know what you guys are going to go through. If you need me as a backup, I'm here. So like Gambler said, I was on the back burner, and then they called me and said, hey, we need you. Okay, no problem. I'll do it. So that's another good way. You know, that's another good way. If you see an event that you're interested in, you know, and it's already full, just talk to the organizer and go like, hey, I'm just here, you know, if you need me, stuff. And it could be good exposure into getting into an event and working on it and stuff. But
yes, I heard that.
And then if
Gamblers Unknown, he just said, no, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna. Gamblers Unknown said, just don't go over a half hour per channel. It can get costly for slot channels to go longer. I agree.
It can. Yeah, I've gone through. You know, we're like just an average betting site, but I've gone through like $500 in 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and then you just get those days where nothing's coming in, and you start pressing, and it goes even faster. So, yeah, 30 minutes is about the max. I prefer to go low and slow at the beginning, and then finish hard at the end, and try to get those big wins right as you're going off. So. But yeah, 30 minutes. I
agree. Okay, we are coming to an end, but I do have an email coming in with a question. So most of this community, or the individuals that are here tonight, are in the slot community, but there's a vlogger out there, and she wants to know suggestions that the chat and the panel may have for challenges that lifestyle channels can do to encourage other channels to collaborate. She asked if collaborations with other channels is always a positive. There may be negatives in there, but I have to tell you personally, collaborations with all other channels within and outside of your niche, to me, it seems like it's a positive. So if there's something you're asking for ideas on what you can do as a lifestyle, right off the top of my head, I've seen some eating challenges. There's that Pacquiao chip out there. Ooh. I personally wouldn't do it.
No, thank you.
Does anyone in the chat have an idea on what how a lifestyle channel could put a challenge out there to collaborate with other lifestyle channels or people outside of their niche? Big EZ, I'm trying to think of something like.
Lifestyle channels, try a food you've never tried before, right? Maybe get another lifestyle channel. They can introduce you to something they enjoy doing that you've never done before, and you do the same, right? So not only do you get a new experience, but then you get you expose your channel to a new audience. Something like that.
Yes, that's an idea. I personally, on one of my other channels, I will be taking on a challenge put out by a lifestyle channel, and she challenged us to go live for 30 days straight. Any live stream, 3 minutes plus. She challenged other channels to go live for 30 days straight, and I actually will be partaking in that challenge. So that's a great challenge. Even if you have a particular subject you want to challenge channels to, that's something that you could challenge them to, a 30-day series.
Yeah,
that's available.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool, you know. Challenge, like I like
Yeah,
in our
think that
community,
is cool.
you know, I like all the major challenge, the one that gamblers set up, the Buffalo challenge, 15 buffaloes. That's kind of just cool stuff that you can put out there and everyone gets involved, you know, and they try to chase these things down and stuff. Like right now,
Exactly.
you
Man
know,
versus Slot has one out.
oh, does he? What's he doing this month?
Yeah, he just launched a channel, and actually for this stream, I had screenshotted it. He just launched a channel for how many bonuses that you can get on the Dragon, on the is it the Dragon Link or the Dragon Cash machine?
Yeah, you know, you have those. You have the bonus or bust type deals and stuff. But
Yeah.
I'm chasing beer belly slots right now, so I'm going after the 15 buffalo heads this month. And so I've done it before.
15
but,
buffalo heads.
Yeah, I've done it before, but I've never done it on a video. So he inspired me. So I met him in Vegas and stuff, and he inspired me to chase that one down. So.
See, and I love those events because you could do them at any time. Man versus Slotz has the Mighty Bonus Challenge. That's what it's called, the Mighty Bonus Challenge. For those of you in the slot community that are interested in this challenge that he has out, he posted it to his community page today. And it's pretty detailed. It's got a lot going on. So I'll highlight the challenge as a separate video on my channel, the Slot Sister channel, give my little 2 cents to it, and I'll probably be jumping on board probably.
Yeah. Oh, one other thing real quick before we end. The donation site is open for 2 more weeks.
Yes.
If you can drop the link on the live stream, if anybody wants to donate or if you want to share the link out, appreciate it. So we're going to keep it open for 2 weeks, and then maybe I'll come back on here and we'll do a recap, or I'll do it on my own, or maybe get as many channels as I can to come on and do a live interview and stuff and talk about it. But yeah, so it's open for a couple more weeks. If anyone's interested in donating or sharing out the link, I appreciate it.
So now that you've told me the donation link, first of all, we want to hit and exceed that mark that you set. Yeah. I don't know what your schedule is. I do this on air, but you are in no obligation to do that. What I would like to do is reach out to yourself and all the participants in your event. I would like to get them on for 10 minutes each to go over next week how they felt about the event. We can highlight that link that will still be open. Yeah. Definitely promote it and encourage others to donate to that link. I will link it to this video as well. But what I would like to do is invite you back on next week, because I'd like some of the participants to be able to have a direct conversation with you about their experience with your event. And let's talk out some things that they may have experienced or learned from the event. And so that invitation is open, and I will reach out, if you're okay with it, to each and every one of your participants.
For sure, let's do it. That sounds like a great idea.
Awesome. Cindy A, you're an amazing, amazing mod. I appreciate you so very much. Thank you for dropping that link. The link to the fundraising site, the direct donation site to St. Jude's has just been dropped by Cindy A. So please, 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 I encourage you. You're just amazing, Cindy A. Thank you so much for dropping that link.
In case you guys didn't know out there, the A in Cindy A stands for angel. All right. She is a community angel. She basically.
I thought it was Cindy Awesomeness.
Oh, it's Cindy Awesome Angel. Yeah. But she basically moderated the event pretty much yesterday. She was, so helpful. She always is. She's such a great supporter and stuff. So Cindy, I appreciate you. Thank you very much for all your help. We all love you.
We do. We love you. We love you. All right, you guys, we are going to bring this Level Up series to an end because I have some work to do. We are going to try to invite all of those participants onto the Level Up to give their personal experience on that event for next week. But what I want to tell you before we end, thank you so much, Big EZ Slotz, again, for being on the Level Up experience. I appreciate you.
Oh, I appreciate you having me on here. You guys can continue to support Slotz Sister in all her endeavors. And then immediately here after this, jump over to Jaywalking Las Vegas and let's continue this party over there. They have a wonderful chat also. And let's do it. Let's keep that goodwill going.
And I love that because we will be jumping with Big EZ Slotz over to Jaywalking Las Vegas. And I will see you guys on the next Level Up stream. Thank you so much for being here. I'll see you next Sunday.
Thank you, Slotz Sister. Have a great night.
Thank you.